Whenever I get to Chicago, which is quite a bit these days, I make sure I take a walk along the lakefront. Maybe take a cruise, the Wendella boat cruise down the river, or end up at Navy Pier and ride the giant Ferris wheel. Really quite a bit of fun. There's always something to see and do. Walk up and down State Street. There's always a lot of new stores, great places to shop. Maybe a jaunt over to Grant Park, Millennial Park, and see the bean, see a reflection in the bean with all the thousands of people milling around and all the installations at night, which cast a lot of really great reflections. Many years ago, my Gramps and I would ride the elevated downtown to check out a lot of sites which were completely rebuilt today, but back in those days we could get on an elevated and get downtown to the band shell. He was a musician and he was always invited to play with certain bands that came into town, especially the old John Philip Sousa band. Today it's redesigned by Frank Gehry, but there he is as a trombone player right there in the middle. And he played quite a bit, pickup bands and concert bands in the old Little Symphony in Chicago, which is a precursor to the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. When he'd play at Riverview Park, which is a giant amusement park west side of Chicago. Most of these things took place on Sundays, and we'd stop at a little favorite bookstore after we had an elevated ride. And one of his favorite stops was Earl's Bookstore at the Damon Avenue station. He would pore over all the new books that came in from Europe, papers like the Polish Gazette, German and French papers. He could read several different languages, but he was enamored with the way the books were bound in those days and the great care that they took in embroidering some of these books and the covers, great designs. He could read Latin, several languages. While he did all this, I had some other little things I could do in the corner of the shop. There was one favorite spot of mine. It was a globe that I could spin, and I was always fascinated spinning it and wondering where I'll end up in the future, maybe some distant land with a lot of different adventures. I would gather up our books. I'd tie my belt around the purchases that we were going to make, and we'd be on our way home. Usually caught a trolley on the way home. Today it's an Amtrak.